So for this tutorial, we're going to do something very simple. We're going to declare a variable. We're going to assign a value to that variable, and we're going to write a loop. A loop is something that executes a block of code in a repetitive manner. And then we're just going to see what happens. And specifically, we're going to see what happens in terms of a memory allocation. So one thing people often ask is why still program in C or in C++? And one of the interesting things about C and C++ is how close you get to the memory, how you can manipulate memory. So for example, here I've written a very, very simple program. I declare a variable, I assign it a value, 5, and I loop for as long as I is smaller than 10, I increment it, so I add 1. So when I start the debugger uh, for this, it's going to stop at my breakpoint right before the loop. And you see it's going to give me the address of I, because I wrote %I in the watch window. So I know that the address of the variable I is 012FF794. So I'm going to go to that memory location, and I can see it right there. This is my I. So if I go through this loop, if I step through this loop once, I'm going to see the value here change, you see? So it's still the same memory location, but now it became 6. And when I come back, I'm going to see the value change again, and change again, and change again. And now its value is 10. So it's not going to go through the loop again. It's going to step out of the loop. Now there is one thing that's worth mentioning about this. The variable I begins at the address 012FF794. But really, it spans all the way to 012FF797. The reason why is because I is an object of type int, and an object of type int is 4 byte long. And each of these memory addresses is 1 byte. So there's 1 byte at 012FF795, 1 byte at 012FF796, and another one at 97. Each of these is set at 0. And well, that's because this language is this is hexadecimal, and in hexadecimal goes from 0 to F, and in hexadecimal 10 is the letter A. So really in C++, there's 3 different ways to manipulate memory. First, you got static memory, and static memory is when it stays in the text, in the code of a program, and it stays there until the end of the program. But then you got your free store, and your free store is it's when you, as a programmer, you need to explicitly allocate memory. So we're not going to talk about this type of memory in the tutorial today. We're going to talk about automatic memory. So automatic memory is when you declare a variable in a function, and then that variable sort of, the memory for that variable sort of disappears when your function reaches the end of its execution. So today I'm going to be using Visual Studio, and I'm gonna be writing a console application. I'm not going to be using a static library. I'm gonna need an empty project. And that's it. So I'm just going to start by recreating the same program that we had last time. And it was a simple program. Let's see. We included IOStream, that was our only library. And then we had a main that returned an int. And we printed hello world. And returned value 1. So that was our program. And we can just build it. And let's see.